Hey, it's Joe Amoia, founder and creator of GPS for Love and your love life transformation specialist. Have you ever been in a relationship with a guy where everything was great in the beginning? He would text you all the time. He would call you. He would move around his schedule and cancel things just so he can be with you, to spend time with you, to go out with you. And then things were cool for a while. And then slowly but surely, the text stopped. They went from a couple times a day to maybe one or two every couple of days. The phone calls, all of a sudden he was busy. He had things that he had to take care of. And then he stopped making that time to be with you and then spend time with you. Or if he was with you, you just felt like he was there, but he wasn't fully present. Well, if that's ever happened to you, I want you to pay close attention because that story is so common. In fact, it is more common than you realize. But what I want you to understand is that story, that experience is actually a good thing. Now, this is where you may struggle because what happens is you think things should be different than they are. You want things to go back to how they were in the beginning. You expect him to be that guy that you fell in love with or that you were attracted to. But what you must realize is that guy in the beginning was his representative. That wasn't who he really is. See, he put all that effort in because it was important to him until he got you. And then once he got you, he felt comfortable. He feels, I got you. I don't have to do those things anymore. And then in his world, he's starting to realize, you know what? Yeah, I like this girl. I like this woman. We had some fun. But do I really want to put the effort in? See, that's the difference between a boy and a man. A man will consistently put that effort in to spend time with you, to be with you, to move his schedule around when appropriately because he wants to. That's one of the ways you're going to identify the right man. So this guy who's changing is actually doing you a favor. But that's where the struggle is. I recently had a conversation with one of my former clients, and she was dating this guy. And in the beginning, everything was great. He was wonderful. He did everything. She was so connected. He had everything that she was looking for. And then what happened? Within a couple of months, he slowly started to change. All of a sudden, he was busy. He had other stuff going on in his life. And he didn't make the time. Here's the truth, okay? I'm going to give you the truth, the straight truth, nothing but the truth. When we want to see a woman and we want to be with a woman and we want to have a relationship with a woman, we will do whatever we need to do to make that happen. Even if that means we've only got a half hour on a Saturday. Well, we're going to make sure that in that half hour that we find the time, we do whatever we need to do to go and spend time with that woman, to be with that woman. Now, here's the crux. Here's what I want you to understand is you get to decide, does this work for me? Is this man consistently meeting my needs? That's where the challenge works. That's where the challenge is, I'm sorry, is because you're afraid that if you let this guy go, you're never going to find somebody else. You're in fantasy land thinking that if you hold on to this guy and tell him how to love you, tell him what he's doing wrong, that he's going to go, oh, you know what? I see the light. I've made a mistake. Now let me do what you want me to do and go back to being that guy who I'm really not. See, what I want you to understand is that has nothing to do with you. This is human behavior. People always reveal their true colors. It's simply a matter of when. So you need to use this information to your advantage. That's why I'm a big believer in not jumping into relationships. Making sure that you sit back, you date somebody a while, you really screen them. You go through every aspect of their life, every aspect of who they're being to see, is this really the kind of man who's emotionally available and who's ready for a relationship? And even if he appears that way in the beginning, your job is to go, okay, sounds good, but let's see. To sit back kind of going, all right, this looks great, sounds great, it's all wonderful. Let's see what it's going to be like in a few months. Because that's where the telltale sign of who a true life partner is that man who consistently does it. Now, one of the mistakes, again, that I see so many members of the GPS for Love community make is that when that guy changes, all of a sudden you go back at him and you start barking at him. And you know what? I really like it when you text me. Or, I really want you to call me. Or, you're not making time with me. And you start chirping at him. And you're telling him what he should do. And you know what a man hears when you do that? He hears that what you're doing sucks, you suck, and I'm not happy with you. You know the quickest way to drive a man away? Criticize him and make him wrong. So I'm a big believer. If you have to tell somebody how to love you, how to tell somebody to be the right partner for you, you're with the wrong partner. Now, that being said, if you come to that point, and this is the point, this is the make or break point, this is the point where you know, should I stay, should I walk away? If you know that you've consistently given your all to this man and he's not consistently giving you what you need for you to be happy, you need to have a conversation. And that conversation goes something like this. Look, Bob, you're a great guy, and this relationship was really great for a while, but I'm not getting what I need from this relationship. And so I'm simply looking for something different. So I think it's best for both of us if we move on. Now, you're not making Bob wrong. You're not telling him himself. You're saying that, you know what? I'm looking for something different. I'm looking for somebody who can give me more, who wants to give me more. And if you don't want to do that, that's okay. So you're not forcing him to do that. You're saying that you're strong enough, you're courageous enough to now walk away. Now, if Bob really loves you and really wants to be with you, Bob's going to go, oh shit, you know what? I screwed up. You know what? I really want to put the effort in. Now, just because Bob says, oh, I apologize, I'm sorry, I want to change, doesn't mean he will. So I'm a big believer that if you decide to accept Bob back, you give him one chance to show, did he really change? And then keep your eyes and ears open, because Bob will ultimately show you if he really changed. Now, understanding human behavior the way I do, what I know to be true is people are who they are. And the only way that Bob will change is if Bob wants to change for Bob. Because Bob realizes that he's not being who he wants to be. He wants to step up. He wants to make the necessary changes. He wants to learn. He wants to grow as a man. If Bob does it only because he's afraid of losing you, he'll make the changes until he gets you. And then a few months later, he'll go right back to doing what he's doing now. So I really want you to understand this and really hope that you're going to use this information in your love life to make the journey easier and more enjoyable, because these patterns are so predictable. Human behavior is so predictable, it's not even funny. And I'm a big believer, if you have to put effort into making somebody be who you want them to be, to tell them how to love you, to tell them how to be the relationship partner, then you're with the wrong person. You know, I try to be 100% transparent about my relationship with Natalie, my wife, and how it worked for us from the beginning, because that's why we're here 18 years later and in a strong marriage and a strong relationship, because we naturally gave each other what each other needed. When I was first dating Natalie, there was a time when I was playing a lot of sports. I was playing in a men's baseball league. I was playing 2 softball leagues. I was playing in a men's hockey league. And there came time, it's like, you know what? Yeah, I had fun. I played sports, but you know what? I really want to be with this woman. And so, you know, I stopped playing hockey because it was late at night and it interfered with our time. Still played in the baseball league because I was able to incorporate and still do both. Gave up the softball slowly and but surely over time. And I was still able to do both because both were important to me. And that's what I want you to get, is when a man really loves you and a man really wants to be with you and have a relationship with you, he is going to want to put the effort in, not for you, but for himself. And that's what I want you to realize, is when a guy isn't putting in the relationship for you and you don't feel that, you don't experience, my recommendation is it's time to walk away. So now, as always, it's time for mirror time. So I want you to reflect on what we talked about today. I want you to go back and look back over your love life. Were there times in your life where the guy changed? Did you consistently try and put the effort in to make him change? Did you love him? Did you make excuses? Did he give you BS? Did he say he was going to change? And I want you to look at that and to see what you can learn from that experience and how you can use that in going forward to create the results you desire and deserve. And if you can share that with us, I would absolutely love it, because by sharing, you help other women who may be in that situation right now, who think, you know what, if I just love him more, if I just make excuses for him, if I just ignore the red flags, you know, he says he's sorry, he's going to change. I want you to share your experience so that it will shine the light for them, so that they don't waste their time on guys who can never love them the way they deserve to be loved. So go ahead and do that. And as always, if you're new to the YouTube channel, just go ahead and hit like and subscribe and become part of the GPS for Love community so you can receive our next video when it becomes available. As always, honor and privilege to be with you. I'll see you next time. Much love.